All right, welcome to your Saturday workout. For our warm-up today, we are starting with 8 deck squats. So squatting down, driving back, and shooting all the way up. If you need to scale, we can cross our legs and drive up that way. After that, we're doing 8 alternating handstand split. So what that means is, I'm gonna start with my hands on the ground. I'm gonna kick up, my left leg leading, and I'm gonna switch and come down, kick up, switch, and come down. We're gonna do 8 of those total. After that, we're gonna do 8 stationary cartwheels. So this drill just sort of helps us potentially on our bad side. We're gonna start kind of lunged, hands on the ground. Now we're gonna try to keep our hands on the ground throughout this drill, and we're just gonna drive over, reset, over, reset, over, reset. And we're gonna do that 8 times total. Lastly, just 8 vertical jumps for me, loading the hamstrings, driving up, soft landing, reset, load, drive up. Cool. 3 rounds of that. All right, so for our gymnastics section today, we're gonna continue to work on cartwheels and practicing new movements. Again, in the warm-up, we practice going side to side, that way we can kind of work on our bad side. But for this first part, what we're gonna do is just set up on a line. We're gonna reach out as far as we can. We're gonna turn our hands onto that line and try to finish that cartwheel and then bring it back the other way. For those of you that have that down at this point, we're gonna start adding a little bit of a round off, which means we're gonna bring our feet together in the last quarter of the movement. So we're reaching out, adding a little speed, and getting a little toss to our feet. If we can do a round off, we're gonna add a rebound. So reaching out, throwing, and rebounding out of that movement, or adding almost that vertical jump. As soon as we're done with that, we're gonna do 4 crow to handstand. So our long-term goal is to be able to hold that crow position. Press like a strict press up into a handstand and come down. That is our long-term goal, and the way we get there is starting here, pressing to that plank position, eventually getting higher. Lastly, 2 back extensions. So, setting up, thinking about back racking that barbell, almost getting pressure into our palms. For some of you, we're just gonna get a little pressure in our palms, maybe a little lift. And for others, we're gonna start driving up a little more and then eventually to handstand from that position. All right.
Hello, welcome to your gymnastics EMOM, which is a 10-minute EMOM of 2 movements. So we're gonna switch back and forth. The first one is a handstand plate walk. For those of you that are more advanced, you can do this on the wall. Wall facing would be the first option. A little bit harder would be facing out. We're gonna do 6 to 8 reps. If you're not comfortable doing it on the wall, you're gonna use a chair. We're gonna elevate your feet, come into a pike position. So we're gonna go up, up, down, down as one. Notice my hips shift to help me balance. I'm going to do 6 to 8 reps total. On the opposite minute, we're gonna do a 30-second overhead plate hold. So I'm gonna take that same plate and I'm gonna stack overhead and hold stationary for 30 seconds. Really simply taxing my shoulder to make the opposite minute a little more challenging. And that is your 10-minute EMOM. All right, gang, for our workout today, we're gonna do a 9-minute AMRAP of the following 3 movements. We're gonna start with 15 hollow body rocks. We have a few modifications. Really important that we keep our lower back flat here and our ribs down. So this would be the first scale. This would be the second scale. Third, and RX. Lower back flat as your pivot point. Keep your feet close to the floor and your legs tight. 15 hollow rocks, followed by 10 dumbbell or kettlebell deadlifts. So hopefully you have something a little heavier. And we're gonna hinge at the hip and deadlift for 10, keeping the hamstrings active. If for some reason your low back is bothering you, you can make this more of a squat movement and get a little bit lower with your butt and keep your chest up for 10. After that, we're gonna do 5 strict handstand push-ups. If you can do them on the wall, great. If not, take your chair, elevate your feet, and we're gonna touch in that tripod position in front of our hands and then push towards our legs. 5 of those, 9 minutes, that's your workout.